You join me today not in the suburbs of Dallas, Texas, but instead on the California North Coast, where behind these unsuspecting garage doors is the result of a project 5 years in the making, and one that I've been absolutely excited to see for myself. So this is a twin turbo 370Z, and what makes it particularly special is it is 100% street legal, and this is the man behind the project. So this is Eugene Turkov. Most of you know him as the person that tuned my 370 when I put the supercharger on, and for the longest time we've really only had the Stillen Super Charger kit as the only street legal option for the 370. I know you've been working on it for 5 years now. It's exciting to finally see this kit in person. I've been following this project for a while. Absolutely excited to see it here. So can you tell me a little bit about what we can see under the hood? It looks like a couple of modifications have been made that we can see clearly from the top here.
So we've replaced the intake pipes with charge pipes, and the charge pipes both have recirculation valves. The intakes are now no longer here where they used to be. Now they actually go, they're kind of here behind the headlight. As far as visually, there's really not a whole lot else different.
What type of turbo or turbos are going into this car?
They are genuine Nissan R35 GTR turbochargers. They've been slightly modified by Husam Hammadi at BTWTuning specifically for this application.
And then what are we doing about injectors?
GTR injectors.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like a miniature GTR. I mean, besides the fact that it's a 3.7, obviously, but this is effectively a baby GTR now.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this product.
Oh yeah, I bet. Hey, can we take a look at this car underneath and see what all's going on underneath?
Absolutely.
All right, so we've got Carl's car up on the dyno now, so we can kind of take a closer look at these turbos here. So it's a little hard to see, but there is one of the GTR turbos. We've got the other one, of course, on the other side here. And how exactly did you get these adapted to the catalytic converters?
We have a 5-axis CNC machine out of steel downpipes that took quite a while to develop to get the fitment just right, and have it connect perfectly, have all the brackets line up, have all the angles right.
And am I correct in saying it looks like you've got an oil line tapped there into the GTR turbo? Does it have its own separate oil system, or is it all kind of connected into the car?
So it's all tied in. It's all tied into the factory oiling system, and you'll notice how low that turbocharger sits on the engine. That creates a lot of opportunities for the oil to back up into the turbo, and it can cause issues with smoking. So instead, what we decided to do is we installed an oil scavenge system. Now that system is primarily composed of a few different pieces. You can see there's an oil scavenge pump right out here in the front. So that pump sucks the oil from this box over here. What this box allows is for increased oil capacity. It allows for increased oil cooling because now the capacity has been increased and there's a lot more surface area for the heat to dissipate.
And I noticed also on that subject of oil capacity, it looks like you've got an oil pan spacer here. Is this part of the kit, or
yes,
did the customer already have this? Oh, so it's part of the kit.
We include every single thing that you would need. You literally buy this kit. You don't need to buy anything else. You put the kit on the car, it's done. It has the oil cooler. It has the oil scavenge system.
It sounds like it's completely turnkey, so a customer can come in with a completely stock 370Z, and then you guys can install this kit on there and begin making power, right?
Correct.
That's awesome to hear. So I'm noticing a couple of other things in here. So obviously you've got some of your intake plumbing. You've got your intercooler. Can you tell me a little bit about the intercooler that's on this car?
Yeah, this is an AAM intercooler. It's the same intercooler that they use on the AAM Twin Turbo Kit. This is the stage 1 intercooler.
I think I noticed where there's some aftermarket engine mounts I was seeing.
Yeah, so the Z1 Motorsports engine mounts are here, and we're using those to perfectly balance the engine within the engine bay and to provide some additional clearance for oil lines and the turbos. You can see how things get kind of tight in there. The problem you're going to run into with the OEM mounts is that they're very soft and you're going to get a lot more engine movement. I don't recommend using the stock mounts. I'd recommend using some upgraded mounts to keep the engine a little more stable. in its mount.
And I'm also noticing you've got a lot of additional lines running in here. I think these are some of the oil system lines. I like that you've got them all wrapped in this special nylon protective coating here as well. You don't really see that with a lot of kits out there. All right, so obviously a lot of work has been done to make this kit a reality, but we haven't actually talked about the power figures on this kit. So how much power can you actually make?
This kit, as configured on 91 pump gas, will make about 430 wheel horsepower and 400 foot-pounds of torque. With some modifications that will invalidate its street legality, the kit can make close to 700 wheel horsepower. We're going to dyno this car. We just built this car. We're going to put on the dyno, and we're going to see if our advertised numbers actually match what comes out of the car.
Oh, awesome. Let's take a look. All right, Eugene, so we got your first customer's car off the dyno. How much power did it make?
427 and 416 wheel torque.
That's awesome. And I think the Stillen kit, if I recall, makes about 400 horsepower typically, with anywhere between 360 to 420 or so. So it sounds like you're making some good peak horsepower figures over the Stillen kit, but can you speak to the torque curve as well?
The torque curve is significantly different. Because our kit's able to make the full advertised boost at low RPM, the torque that's delivered is significantly more.
Right. Yeah, I'm showing a dyno sheet here on the screen, and you can see that we're easily making over 125 foot-pounds of torque on the low end above the Stillen kit. So that's really where you're getting most of your usable power, is going to be on that low end, around 3,000 RPM when you're driving around the street.
And that's where you want it.
Exactly, yeah. More usable power, and you also got a little more peak power as well there on the top end. So overall, it looks really good. We're about to take this car out actually on the street here. Carl's going to take me for a drive, and it's time to see how it feels. All right, so I'm in the car now with Carl. He's had the twin turbo kit on his car for a few months now. You've had some time to kind of drive it. So, tell me, how does the extra power feel now compared to stock?
Oh man, I love it. It's there's a lot more torque up earlier in the range, so you can step on it and feel the power coming out where you couldn't get the power before with the naturally aspirated until you were much higher in the rev range.
Have you had a chance to track it yet? Have you taken it out to
I have not taken it on the track yet, but I've been meaning to do so probably in the next year. I'm gonna get a friend to take me and see how it goes. I like driving road trips and long drives around the mountains and the coasts and stuff, but I haven't taken it on the track yet.
Yeah, so speaking of that, in terms of like reliability, so you said you've already taken a road trip on it. Have you had like any issues with the kit at all, just from a daily driving perspective?
I had a clutch slipping issue with the Exceedi clutch on the 2018 Plus Nismos. But once I swapped the clutch out with the JWT that has a higher clamping force, it's been very solid.
So yeah, I mean, it sounds like this kit is really well put together. It's reliable, and it's clearly making good power, but I think it's time to kind of feel what it can do. Whoa! Oh, yeah, that feels really nice. Yeah, you can really feel that instant torque when you're getting on it. That's one of the things that's awesome about these little turbo kits. I mean, I may be making more peak horsepower in my supercharger, but I definitely don't get the low-end torque that we're feeling here with this kit. Holy crap. And I'm back in Texas now, but I did get a chance to drive Eugene's test vehicle, and I gotta say, being behind the wheel of that thing was absolutely amazing. I mean, the amount of low-end torque that you get, even down to 3,000 RPMs, is just something that I'm not used to, having a supercharged 370 myself. So a couple of other things that I wanted to touch on in this video that we haven't already. First off, the installation process. This being a twin turbo kit, the installation process is pretty involved. You do have to pull the engine out to be able to get enough room to install the turbos. And if that's not something that you're comfortable doing, doing, you will obviously have to hire a mechanic, and that's another cost aspect that you're going to have to consider. You know, with this channel being all about DIY, I wanted to be able to install it myself, and that's kind of what drew me towards a supercharger kit. The other thing is cost, and no turbocharger or supercharger kit's going to be cheap. At 12.5 grand, this kit is certainly not the cheapest twin turbo kit on the market. It is in the same price range as the Fast Intentions kit. It's 2,000 grand more than the AAM kit. But I think the price point is well warranted, especially when you consider the fact that, well, A, it's the only street legal twin turbo kit option out there for the 370. The only other street legal option for boost is the Stillen kit, and the extra power gains that you're going to get for that are almost marginal. I mean, they do advertise that you can make anywhere from 400 to 450, but a lot of the cars that I've been seeing on the forums don't even make 400 horsepower. If you really want to make some additional power, this twin turbo kit is certainly the way to go if you want to keep it street legal. And if we compare it to some of the other twin turbo kits out there that aren't necessarily street legal, you'll find that a lot of them have gaps in terms of the supporting mods and other components that you need to really make their kits a complete package. With the EAC kit from Eugene, you get all the supporting mods and everything that you're going to need. It's 100% turnkey. You can take a stock 370 into his shop and he will install everything for you, and you will get all that additional power, and you're not going to need to buy any other supporting mods to be able to make it work. Huge props to Eugene and the team that has helped him work on this. I have absolutely nothing but good things to say about the work that has been done here. So that is it for this video. In the next one, you guys are going to get an update on my car and what's been going on with the Road Tricks kit, so stay tuned for that. And thank you for watching. See y'all in the next one. Later.